just can't do it. I can't take this shit no more, man.
Hey everyone, Alan here, and in today's video I will teach you all there is to know about not just becoming a social media manager, but a manager for brands. Yes, after this video is over, you will be on your way to being the next in line to manage Wendy's Twitter page. I know what you're thinking. Alan, why are you making a video about social media management? Well, I'll tell you why. I've been in the game for a while now, and I've seen firsthand how social media can make or break a brand. And let's face it, we're living in a digital age where social media is everything. So I figured, why not share my knowledge and help others turn their side hustle into a full-time gig? And don't worry, I will not bore you with the same old boring tips you've heard a million times. I will keep it fresh, fun, and most importantly, I will keep it real. So sit back, grab a snack, and let's dive into the world of social media management. Let's move on to the first step in becoming a social media manager: understanding your audience. Now, I know this might sound like a no-brainer, but trust me, it's crucial. You see, not all audiences are created equal, just like how you wouldn't serve a steak to a vegetarian.
Killing animals, and it feels good in front of the vegans, huh? You have all the blood on your face and all the blood on your hands. It feels good.
You wouldn't market a retirement community to a group of college students. It's important to understand who your audience is, what they like, what they don't like, and most importantly, where they're hanging out online. Now, I know this might sound like a lot of work, but don't worry. Finding your audience is like finding a needle in a haystack. If the needle was a big neon sign that said, "Hey, we're over here!" So do your research, figure out who your target audience is, and where they're hanging out online. And remember, a good social media manager always knows their audience. So understanding your audience is step 1 in becoming a social media manager. Now, let's dive a little deeper into this topic. Understanding your audience means more than just knowing their age, gender, and location. It's about truly understanding their behavior, their needs, their preferences, and even their pain points. This is crucial because the better you understand your audience, the more effective your social media strategy will be. It's like trying to sell a car to someone who's never driven before. You're not going to get very far. But if you understand that they're looking for a reliable and fuel-efficient car, you can tailor your approach to better meet their needs. Now, when it comes to finding your audience, there are a few key things to keep in mind. First, don't be afraid to get granular. Instead of just targeting millennials, try targeting millennial parents or millennial pet owners. The more specific you are, the more likely you are to find your ideal audience. Second, always be on the lookout for new platforms and trends. Just because your audience is on Facebook now doesn't mean they will be there forever. And lastly, remember, a good social media manager always knows their audience. It's like that old saying, you cannot lead a horse to water if you don't know it's thirsty. So do your research, figure out who your target audience is and where they're hanging out online. And don't forget, always keep an eye out for that big neon sign that says, "Hey, we're over here." Now that we've covered understanding your audience, let's move on to step 2, creating a content calendar. Alan, I don't want to be tied down to a schedule. I want to be spontaneous and post whatever I want, whenever I want. I get it, trust me, but hear me out. A content calendar is like a roadmap. It helps you navigate where you're going and what you're doing. And let's face it, as much as we all want to be spontaneous, sometimes life gets in the way and you need a plan. Think of it this way: if you're going on a road trip, you wouldn't just get in the car and start driving without a plan. You would map out your route, plan your stops, and even pack a bag with snacks and essentials. A content calendar is the same thing. It helps you plan out your content, schedule your posts, and even includes a snack bag of evergreen content for those days when you're feeling uninspired. Plus, with a content calendar, you will never have to worry about running out of content or not knowing what to post next. It's like having a personal assistant, but instead of making coffee, it makes content. And let's face it, who doesn't love a good personal assistant?
Your virtual assistant. I'm Siri, your virtual assistant.
Right, I'll tell you what, you fat little
So don't be afraid to plan ahead, create a content calendar, and stay organized. And remember, a good social media manager always has a plan. But how do I reach out to brands? You got it. Now that we've covered understanding your audience and creating a content calendar, let's talk about how to reach out to brands and land that gig as a social media manager. First things first, it's important to have a strong portfolio. This means showcasing your best work, highlighting your accomplishments, and demonstrating your skills. Your portfolio should be a visual representation of who you are as a social media manager. Think of it as your resume, but with more pictures and less bullet points. It's also important to have an online presence. This means having a professional website, social media accounts, and make sure that your portfolio is easily accessible. A portfolio? Crap! Yup, next, it's crucial to personalize your approach when reaching out to brands. This means doing your research and understanding the brand's needs, goals, and audience. Tailor your pitch to show how you can help them achieve their goals and grow their audience. It's like trying to sell a car to someone. You wouldn't just walk up to them and say, "Hey, buy this car." You would show them how the car meets their needs, how it's reliable, fuel efficient, and how it's going to make their life easier. It's also important to stand out and be unique. This means thinking outside the box, showcasing your personality and being creative. Just like how a good social media manager knows their audience, they also know how to stand out from the crowd. It's like trying to sell a car in a crowded lot. You want to make sure yours stands out. Lastly, don't be afraid to network and reach out to other social media managers and professionals in the industry. This means attending events, joining groups, and connecting with others in the field. It's like trying to sell a car. Sometimes you need the help of a good car salesman to make the sale. So remember, have a strong portfolio, personalize your approach, stand out and be unique, and don't be afraid to network and reach out to others in the field. And remember, a good social media manager always knows how to land that gig. But Ellen, what do I even say to these brands in the DMs without them leaving me on scene? Good question. When you're reaching out to brands, it's important to have a clear and concise message. Here are a few tips to keep in mind. Introduce yourself and explain why you're reaching out. This could be something like, "Hi, my name is Ellen and I'm social media manager. I came across your brand and I think my skills and experience could be a great fit for your social media strategy." Show them your portfolio, link to your website and online presence. This way, they can see your best work and understand what you have to offer. Highlight your skills and experience that align with their needs. This means tailoring your pitch to their specific goals and audience. Ask for a call or meeting, be proactive, and don't be afraid to follow up. And remember to be polite, professional, and respectful, and try to avoid generic messages. It's also important to note that not all brands will be interested, and that's okay. Rejection is a part of the process. Don't take it personally and keep reaching out to other brands. Also, keep in mind that social media is a crowded space, and it might take some time and persistence to get a response. But don't give up. A good social media manager always knows how to reach out to brands and make the connection. Okay, I'm getting it, but how do I not get myself fired if I land the gig? Now that you've landed the gig, it's important to keep in mind a few key things to ensure you don't get fired as a social media manager for a brand. Always be professional and respectful when representing the brand. Remember, you are the face of the brand on social media, so your behavior and communication should reflect that. Stay organized and on top of deadlines. This means creating a content calendar, staying on schedule, and meeting all deliverables. A good social media manager is always on top of things and keeps their clients informed and updated. Be data-driven and results-oriented. This means tracking your social media metrics, analyzing your performance, and making data-driven decisions to improve results. Be willing to adapt and evolve. Social media is constantly changing, so it's important to stay up to date with the latest trends and best practices. A good social media manager is always learning and growing. Communicate effectively with your clients. This means setting expectations, providing updates, and being transparent about any issues or challenges that arise. A good social media manager knows how to build and maintain strong relationships with their clients. Be creative and think outside the box. Social media is a crowded space, so it's important to stand out and be unique in your approach. A good social media manager knows how to be creative and think outside the box. By keeping these things in mind, you can become an amazing social media manager for brands and increase the chances of keeping your job. Remember, a good social media manager always knows how to not get fired. Alright, seems promising. Do you have more tips? I'm nervous. I understand that starting a new job can be nerve-wracking, but don't worry, you've got this. Here are a few more tips to help you succeed as a social media manager for brands. Be consistent and persistent. Consistency is key when it comes to social media. It's important to establish a consistent posting schedule, consistent messaging, and consistent branding. Persistence is also important because social media is a long-term game. It's important to stick with it even when you don't see the results right away. Be authentic and transparent. Social media users can tell when a brand is being inauthentic or insincere. It's important to be transparent and authentic in your messaging and engagement. Listen to your audience. As a social media manager, it's important to listen to your audience and respond to their comments, messages, and feedback. This will help you understand their needs and preferences and create content that resonates with them. Be strategic and measure your results. It's important to have a clear strategy in place and measure your results. This means setting goals, tracking metrics, and analyzing data to see what's working and what's not. This will help you make data-driven decisions and improve your performance. Continuously learn and improve. Social media is constantly evolving, so it's important to stay up to date with the latest trends, best practices, and tools. A good social media manager is always learning and looking for ways to improve. By keeping these tips in mind, you will be well on your way to becoming an amazing social media manager for brands. Remember, a good social media manager is always learning, growing, and adapting to the changing digital landscape. Whew, okay, I can do this.
I just can't do it. I can't take this shit no more, man.
Sure you can. Alright, so we've covered a lot in this video, from understanding your audience to landing that gig as a social media manager for a brand. I hope you found this guide helpful and informative. Remember, social media is a powerful tool, and with the right knowledge and skills, you can turn your side hustle into a full-time gig. But don't stop here, this is just the beginning. We have more videos on how to break from the 9-to-5 race and succeed as a side hustler. So make sure you subscribe to our channel to stay up to date with the latest tips and tricks. And remember, as a social media manager, it's important to always keep learning, growing, and adapting to the ever-changing digital landscape. So keep an open mind, stay positive, and most importantly, have fun with it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you enjoyed this video and want to see more. I will see you in the next video.